The entire cafeteria froze. A chair screeched back, trays rattled, and every eye turned toward the girl with braids sitting alone. The bully's words cut sharp as knives and laughter spread like wildfire. But what nobody knew was that the quiet girl had a strength hidden deep within her, a strength that would silence the entire room in seconds. The insult struck the air like a whip, sharp and merciless. A ripple of cruel laughter followed, rolling across the cafeteria until it pressed down on the girl sitting quietly at the edge of the lunch table. She lowered her gaze, her hands folded in her lap, steady yet tense. The bully loomed taller, feeding on the crowd's silence, daring anyone to defend her. No one spoke. No one moved. She was targeted because she looked different. Her braids framed her face with quiet dignity, but to the bully they became a weapon for mockery. Words dripped with scorn, each one louder, each one designed to strip away her peace. Around her, friends of the bully smirked, and strangers avoided her eyes. A cafeteria full of voices had suddenly chosen silence. Yet behind her stillness was a story no one saw. Years earlier, in the dim light of a dusty gym, she had trained. Her father, a quiet man with steady hands, had guided her through each stance, each movement. He taught her not to fight for anger, but for balance, for discipline, for respect. She remembered the sweat dripping into her eyes, the sting in her muscles, the rhythm of her breath when the world around her felt too heavy. Martial arts had been her anchor in storms of loneliness and loss. Her mother's absence had carved an ache too deep for words, and school hallways had never been kind. But each strike against the punching bag, each moment of discipline, had built a fortress inside her. While others only saw a quiet black girl at a lunch table, she carried a silent strength that no insult could shatter. Now, in the harsh light of this moment, the bully pressed further. The words grew sharper, the laughter louder until trays trembled under nervous hands. A teacher nearby pretended not to see, hiding behind a stack of papers. Friends whispered but stayed seated. The injustice burned, but she did not move. She only breathed, deep, steady, silent. Then came the shove. A tray clattered to the floor. Gasps echoed like thunder through the cafeteria. The bully smirked, convinced that silence meant weakness, but silence was her shield. In that breath, the fortress within her opened. Calmly, with precision born of discipline, she stood. Her movements were not wild or angry. They were fluid, sharp, and controlled. The bully lunged, but she stepped aside with the grace of someone who had repeated the motion 1,000 times in practice. A single, precise sweep brought the bully stumbling to the ground, not harmed, only humbled. The cafeteria erupted into stunned silence. Her eyes never wavered. She spoke only once, her voice calm, firm, and unforgettable. Respect is earned, and silence is strength. The words hung heavy in the air, sinking deeper than any insult. The bully's laughter had vanished. The crowd's silence transformed into something else, into respect, into awe. Even those who had joined in the mockery now lowered their eyes, ashamed. Another line followed, almost whispered but heard by all. Dignity cannot be taken. It can only be surrendered. The cafeteria remained frozen, every face reflecting the weight of what they had just seen. For the first time, the girl's silence spoke louder than any voice. And then slowly, something remarkable happened. One by one, students stood, not in applause but in quiet solidarity. A room that had once echoed with cruel laughter now stood in reverent silence. The bully, red-faced and trembling, retreated without another word. Her victory was not in overpowering, but in showing the strength of restraint, the discipline of dignity, and the unshakable truth that true power does not scream. It simply stands unbroken. In the days that followed, whispers about that moment spread beyond the cafeteria walls. Some spoke of her martial arts skills, others of the way she never lost her calm. But what lingered most was the memory of her words. Respect is earned. Silence is strength. It became more than a line. It became a reminder that quiet heroes walk among us every day, carrying unseen battles, unspoken strength, and unbreakable dignity. And so the question remains. In a world loud with cruelty and quick to judge, will we choose silence as weakness or silence as strength?